welcome to Dr. Mix. How you guys doing? You guys all right? Yes, I'm going to play for you the top 10 synthesizer riffs of all time. I know you've been waiting for this, so let's cut to the chase. Number 10, Gershon Kingsley, Popcorn. This insanely pervasive global hit dates back to 1969 when Gershon Kingsley composed it for his visionary album Music to Moog by, link in the description obviously, which was completely centered around, you guessed it, the Moog synthesizer, which at the time was only available in its gigantic modular form. I have my 1973 Minimoog right here and I'm going to use it to recreate the iconic popcorn sound for you right now. So if I turn everything off but just leave the first oscillator on. So now I'm gonna just choose some decay here in the modifier. Yeah. Then what I want to do is I want to turn down the cutoff. Then maybe add a bit of contour. And that's pretty much it. This outrageously catchy instrumental piece has been a global hit across every decade following its first release, and the most famous popcorn covers are the 1972 version by Hot Butter, the Anarchic System version from the same year, in my view the best version, and the inescapable Crazy Frog version from 2005. Even Swedish Chef from The Muppet Show had his own very viral popcorn version. Interesting piece of trivia, although the synth loosely replicates the sound of corn popping in a cooking pan, the title was a tongue-in-cheek commentary on how corny pop music was getting at the time. Popcorn. Get it? Get it? Next! Number 9, Van Halen, Jump. There is no question that this is one of the most memorable synthesizer riffs ever composed. Simple and yet powerful. The official video shows that an Oberheim OBXA was used, but rumor has it that in actual facts in the studio they used an OBX, which is the previous model. I don't own any Oberheim synthesizer, but I do have a great sounding plug-in version by UVI. Let's play with it, shall we? I really love the Oberheim, and on Vintage Vault 4 you can find tons of great Oberheim sounds, along with a humongous collection of classic vintage synthesizers, including most of the ones I will mention in this video. Check out the link in the description for Vintage Vault 4 by UVI. Next! Number 8, Ray Parker Jr., Ghostbusters. This unforgettable title track from the 1984 movie Ghostbusters was composed by one of my guitar heroes, Ray Parker Jr. What a man, what a sound! The clever synthesizer hook was apparently made with a Korg Poly 61, which was considered an affordable synth at the time, only to become way more famous later on in the 90s for its classic rave chord stabs. The Poly 61 was in many ways similar to the Juno 6, with 2 digitally controlled analog oscillators, 6 voices, and a solid construction. I don't have a Poly 61, but I have a Juno 6, so let's play Ghostbusters, shall we? Ghostbusters! By the way, if you're looking and you're liking, then why don't you please hit that like button? It doesn't cost you anything and it helps me a lot so that I can keep on making great content with this channel. And if you really like it, then please do subscribe to it. There's a button there. There is a bell there. That's awesome. Thank you. Where was I? Oh, next! Number 7, Darude Sandstorm. Produced by Finnish DJ Darude, this 1999 trance anthem took the world literally by storm. With 500,000 copies sold in the United States alone. Sandstorm is famous for its earth-shattering synthesizer riff, which was performed on a Roland JP8080 virtual analog modeling synthesizer, the rack module version of the Roland JP8000. What makes this synth riff different to anything else is the surprising use of 2 oscillators at 2 octaves and a 5th distance to one another. That was unheard of before. Let me show you how to do it on a Minimoog because it's much easier to explain it on it. Alright, firstly, let's destroy the popcorn sound by opening up the filter, putting all the sustain level up, decay down, contour down. Alright, so the first thing that we do is we take this oscillator and we put it onto square wave. And we're already kind of there, aren't we? But check out. Now, oscillator number 2 is going to be on a sawtooth. Let's tune it, right? And we're gonna send it back 1 octave, 2 octaves, and then even more, like a 4th below. Comes together. Next. Number 6, Herbie Hancock, Rockit. Now, this has to be my personal favorite because I love Herbie Hancock. Having just finished blowing our minds with his 70s disco era, Herbie Hancock dropped this atomic bomb synthesizer riff in 1983 with the single Rockit, a mind-bending mix of hip-hop, electro, Afro-Cuban and space rock. Now, around this time, Herbie Hancock already had a few dream synthesizers, including the Fairlight CMI. However, he was particularly enamored with the Rhodes Chroma. Let's go check it out thanks to the UVI Vintage Vault 4 Chroma. You know, Herbie Hancock, during that time, he used these sounds a lot. Yes, but let's go to the riff, the famous riff, which I have found a sound on the Chroma, which is this one. Probably he used a combination of sounds, but I'm sure that the Chroma must have been there. I love that guy. I said this is my favorite. What's your favorite? Okay, here's what I'll ask you to do. Please watch this until the end and tell me which one is your favorite and leave a comment in the comment section. Number 5, Eurythmics, Sweet Dreams. Beautifully haunting and iconic electro anthem from 1983, Sweet Dreams has a very, very complex synthesizer riff. Apparently, this is the result of Dave Stewart working on a sequence when Annie Lennox got off the floor and up on an Oberheim OBX and started counterpointing the synth parts. And that's how the double riff was born. Let me play both parts for you so that you can understand. Yes. So, for the lower part, I'm going to use UVI's M6K, and it has this sound. And let me record this. Right? Then all I need to do is close this, quantize that, trim here, trim there, Control D forever. And now I'm going to go to the second part, which is this one. All right? Yeah? I'll play it slower for you. And together it sounds like this. Now let me just quantize it, trim it, duplicate it, and there you go. Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Next. Number 4, Yazoo, Don't Go. This unstoppable synthesizer riff from 1982 is probably one of the most obsessive of the entire decade, and it was performed on an ARP 2600. I happen to have a 2600M. Let's play this riff. Here it is. I have connected the sawtooth waveforms into channels 1 and 2 of the mixer. I have added a touch of attack, touch of decay, a whole lot of sustain, and a little bit of release, and this is the result. You can play this forever, never gets tired. Next! Number 3, Harold Faltermeyer, Axel F. From the Hollywood blockbuster movie Beverly Hills Cop starring Eddie Murphy, here comes the ultimate earworm synthesizer riff. You hear it once, it will be with you forever. It was also played by Daddy, the Roland Jupiter 8, and it's a classic example of 2 sawtooth oscillators with a bit of the tune synthesizer sound. Yes, I don't have a Jupiter 8, so it's time for Vintage Vault 4 again. Ready? Personally, I think that there would be no Axel F without Rockit, but again, I love Herbie Hancock. I digress. Axel F is one of those evergreen melodies that allowed it to explode 2 times already. Once in 1984 when the film was released, and again in 2005 with, here we go again, the Crazy Frog version. 3 billion views with a B, billion views. See, all you need in life is a short, simple piece of melody and you're set. I'm telling you, my friend, you're set! Next. Number 2, Aha, Take On Me. Unleashed in 1984, yes, the golden era of synth pop, by Norwegian band Aha, Take On Me has one of the most classy synthesizer riffs that I ever heard on a pop song. Whilst the bass line was crucially voiced by the Yamaha DX7 in an ocean of PPG Waves bells, the riff duties were given to the ultimate workhorse of the recording studio, the Roland Juno 60. Here is my presetless version of the Juno 60, the Juno 6. I am going to play Take On Me for you right now. Are you ready for number 1? And at number 1, Europe, The Final Countdown. Yes, 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 yes! This epic 1986 glam metal anthem is probably the most recognizable synthesizer riff ever written. With its long articulated melody and its dramatic tensions and resolutions, this riff was recorded on a Yamaha TX816, aka 8 DX7s in a box, and doubled by a Roland JX8P. The truth is that this is just another great example of brassy, detuned, sawtooth synth sound that can be recreated with a good synthesizer like this one. Yes, yes, yes! If you like synthesizers, there's one thing that you should do. Click on that link in the description for Vintage Vault 4 by UVI. There are so many incredible synthesizers, you will love it! Otherwise, I hope you're doing super well, you are being inspired by music, making beautiful music yourself, and being happy, and fulfilled, and loved, and watching this video next. This video will change your life.